Alright guys, about to insulate the ceiling and put that up. So I just wanted to show you guys everything that I did. Once again, just spray foamed inside there. What I'm gonna do is try and tack along this side edge here somewhere with reflective to give it 3/4 of an inch. I attached it to this right here. That'll give enough space above it. And then we're going to put the 2x4s, or the 1x4, sorry, up against this. And then what we'll do is probably spray foam any overhang up against that. And obviously I'm losing my radiant barrier right here anyways. And this has plenty of space to have that air in there. And there it is. So got some reflecting up on there. Yes sir. I think that ought to do the trick. So I think that it'll do enough for what we need it to do. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and put up the boards and get ready to cut out the foam. And then I put in multiple extra screws going up into there. So now that I can literally hang on this and it's not coming off. Alright, so I got this 1 inch, which is 6.0 R. And I'm going to stick up in there. And along this, I'm going to spray foam in here and in here. And then stick that 1 inch foam up in there. And then this here on the side will still allow me to stuff some insulation up and behind there. And that's what's going to complete my roof insulation. Let me know what you guys think. Should give me a little bit of a resistance there along with the R6. I think that won't be too bad. Just for the roof. Again, let me know what you think. So that's what it looks like after it is up there. So then if there's any air gap in between here and there, this had the reflective back. It'll at least try to reflect any heat loss back. So we'll see how well that does. That will be the end of the insulation. Alright guys, finally coming together. The roof is almost done. It's not perfect, couple marks up on the reflective, but I'm not really too worried about that reflective point. I think that is going to do just fine. I was really just trying to get that for the insulation. It was a little bit cheaper than the pink stuff, and it had the reflective on it, and it gives you an extra 1R. So I didn't see why not just using it. And then as you can see, I put as much spray foam up in there as I can. It's starting to come out, starting to drip out. That's good. I'll go ahead and clean that all up before I put up the plywood. But that is the idea. First put up that plywood. I'm going to use some Gorilla Glue spray adhesive. That should get me nice and tacked up there. And then along here, because there's gaps behind it, I'm going to just use my drywall screws and kind of maybe zigzag back and forth between these positions and try to hit each one of these things. And that would be the ceiling. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll show you guys what it looks like at the end. As always, thanks for watching. And I put the first piece up there. So I'll kind of show you that I had a little bit of insulation right here, so it kind of pushed this in. So if you go to do the same thing, try to make sure that it's completely clear. This little bit of insulation can play a massive effect on that. But anyway, so my plan is I'm going to fill in all these holes where all the screws are at. And I just put in a bunch of extra screws. I don't want it to bow as much as possible over time. And it's just a thin piece, but it ain't going nowhere. I put it up against a board, screwed one in, tried ripping it off, and it actually took a lot of force to rip it off. So I think it'll hold up for a long period of time. And as you can see, it doesn't have to be perfect anywhere, because later on we'll get some quarter round trim to be able to put over everything. And right here is going to have another board that goes up against there, and that'll be the final on that. And so that's kind of my idea. Not going nothing crazy, nothing too expensive, keeping it simple, making sure I can get as much insulation in as possible, and just try to make it look nice. I think that I can kind of clean everything up with just some wood putty, flatten everything out as much as I can, and really blend it in. And from there, I'll show you after that. I'm going to probably stain it. And then over here, how it has some wording and stuff, it's not going to matter too much. I am going to put one more sheet in between here and there. I got to do a little more with the insulation right on the side yet. I didn't really finish everything off over here yet. But this will have cupboards coming out to pretty much right where the seam is at, maybe a little bit behind it, but it'll cover up these letters and stuff. This was the nicest piece of wood that I got out of the bunch, so that was the one that I decided to use. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you on the next part.